don't make you watch it with you. We were a lot funnier than Richard Dawson. They cut
Yeah.
at the end of the show. This show was edited for content because we were a hell of a lot funnier than he was.
That's funny.
Yeah, we had fun. That's a cool thing to have on your personal resume.
Yeah. That's neat.
He was a jackass, so.
I got a friend of mine. I worked with her in Anakeesa. She was in our HR department, and up in Gatlinburg. And one of her lifelong personal goals was to be on Wheel of Fortune.
Oh, wow.
And she went out for the filming and got on the show and got selected for the show.
That's
and
cool.
she actually won the show that she was on. She won like it wasn't a lot of money. It was like $15,000.
Yeah,
But that was one of her lifelong things, was to be on Wheel of Fortune.
that's cool.
So we all watched it. Of course, she did it, and then it didn't run for like 3 weeks or whatever it was. So we had to wait, and then we all watched it together. Had a little watch party for her, and yeah, it was cool. Everybody enjoyed that.
I watched the Family Feud episode last summer or the summer before last for the first time in 20-something years. My son's in-laws were over from Romania.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter-in-law had never seen it. I said, you guys go
Y'all
watch
watched
it.
it.
I'm going to the other room. I've seen it enough. I had a permanent in my hair and wire rim glasses and a mustache.
That's funny. You said you were 25 when you were on it? That's funny.
We played 5 black women from Seattle.
Oh,
Of
wow.
course, Dawson goes over and kisses all them first, and then comes over trying to kiss my sister. What was funny was when you go through dress rehearsal, you just play one round, and the last 2 families go through dress rehearsal, get to play a whole game.
Oh, yeah.
And they were the ones that played the whole game and won in dress rehearsal, and then we slaughtered them in the
Pretty good. Those some good wings.
They are good. So the question we won on, let's see if you can get this. Name a part of the body that you cross. There's 5 of them.
Name a part of the body is what?
That you
Name
cross.
parts of your body that you cross.
Okay, so fingers, arms, legs, eyes,
What?
will toes be the
No.
5th one?
First right. Other 4 are right.
Fingers, arms, eyes, and legs. I have no idea.
How many? So what, how many?
5.
Five.
It's 5.
Yeah, 4 of the 5. 3 seconds.
I don't know what else you can draw.
Your heart. That's a tricky one.
Yeah.
It was actually, was it one of the higher numbers?
Huh?
Just out of curiosity, you know, they do the numbers right. Was Cluster Heart one of the higher or lower numbers?
Well, there's only 5, so
No, I know, but they usually have
The point values.
the point value where.
no, that's on the final. That's on
Oh, on the
Final Jeopardy, or not Final Jeopardy. Fast Money.
No, that was.
You're talking to an expert. Griff.
I thought I thought the.
Fast Money, you only give 1 answer.
No, but on the Family Feud, it was like out of 100, this was 90.
That's for Fast Money. That's not for the regular game.
I watched later.
I'll bet you $50,000. Top 5 answers are on the board.
Right, top 5 answers.
But they don't-
Get the percentage.
No, not in the game. They don't give you the numbers. Only in Fast Money.
Philly's got an outfielder out there throwing. Did you see that? Yastrzemski.
Oh, do they really?
Yeah.
Oh, the Giants. That's Yaz's son,
Oh,
right?
Giants. Sorry. No, I said
That's
Phillies.
Carl Yastrzemski's
Yeah,
son.
Giants got, I think it's a grandson.
Is it grandson?
I think it's his
Oh yeah, it
grandson.
couldn't be. Huh? Me and Carl
Yeah,
hung
Mike.
out some with Walter.
Oh, really? Yeah, Mike Yastrzemski. Yeah, they've got him pitching the last inning.
I loved the Red Sox then.
Good grief. ball's gone. Nope, hit the wall.
But he's having fun, though.
Braves pitched Luke Williams last night in their last inning. Shortstop,
Did they?
outfielder. Yeah. They've done that twice. They've been blown out the past couple of. Yeah, he struck out one. Yeah, it was
Struck
a
out
Schwarber.
Kyle Schwarber. Oh, this guy did?
No, Luke Williams last night. Or the last time he pitched. It wasn't last night. It was last time he pitched.
I was like, he didn't play against Schwarber
yeah,
last night.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, he pitched a scoreless inning.
Is Brian Stott? No, what's the long-haired guy from center fielder for Philadelphia? Marsh. Yeah, Marsh.
Marsh.
He's from here. We had one of the first guests we had on. We always ask the KSU guys who's the most famous person in your cell phone,
Oh, yeah.
and one of them was Brandon Marsh.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he played high school baseball with him.
That's kind of cool.
We've had some good ones. Coach Bohannon's was Jerry Rice.
Okay.
I said, man, can we call Jerry
That's
Rice?
pretty cool.
Yeah, I'd love to say hey to Jerry. And Milton Overton's was Terry Saban,
Okay.
Nick's
All right.
wife. He said, if I ever want anything, that's who I call. I couldn't ever get in touch with Nick. Keep throwing the ball, yeah. Just throw strikes. He got it out.
Oh,
Oh, jeez. Ruined a double play.
well, now they're definitely going to lose. They're just like, please just get out of this game. Let's just get this thing over.
So Washington, the Nationals are the only team behind the Braves, and they're only like 2 games back.
Yeah.
And he's working that outside edge, isn't
Yeah. You know, it's an outfielder.
he?
Yeah, yeah. He's got no fastball. What was that 67 miles an hour? Is that what it said? Oh, that was a curveball. I don't know how you can tell.
Thanks, Sean.
Yes.
Hang on. I am ready for some football.
Me too.
And the All-Star game is, I mean, not the All-Star game, the Hall of Fame game's this month, isn't it? It's like on the
I
30th.
think so, yeah, end of the month.
I wonder if Robert watched the show. Did he comment any, Larry?
Didn't see any.
So, was he watching? Maybe.
They don't have the SEC Media Days in Atlanta every year, do they? That rotates, doesn't it?
I think it rotates.
Yeah, I think it rotates.
It's been
That'd be a
tough
kind of a
since,
fun thing to go
it's been-
to.
yeah. Oh, yeah, I'd love to go to that.
What's the one
right.
sporting event you hadn't been to that you'd like to go to?
Well, I've been to World Series. I've been to MLS Cup Final. I've not been to a Super Bowl. I've been to a collegiate Final Four or a collegiate championship
Which
basketball.
one did you go to?
Michigan and Louisville back in like 13 or 14.
I went to
was
Duke in
here.
Arizona in 2001
Okay.
in Minneapolis.
Yeah, it was Louisville, Michigan State, Michigan, Louisville, I think it was that year.
Michigan State was in the Final Four.
So yeah, probably the Super Bowl. I've not been to the Super
I've
Bowl.
been to two,
Yeah.
one in Tampa and one here.
No.
But I actually used the bathroom next to Jim Irsay. the
Oh,
guy who
really?
just died. We did a party for Indianapolis Colts in '97.
Yeah,
when the first
yeah.
time it was here. And we were in the bathroom together.
That's funny.
I almost said, "Hey, how you doing?" But no. And
Yeah,
probably
I-
my favorite one was the Final Four. I got to hang out with Dick Vitale and John Wooden
Okay.
for 5 days.
Yeah. Final Four was good. Yeah, I've not been to a Super Bowl. Yeah, and going to the Masters at some point. That's on my list. I've not been
Did you do what?
to go to Augusta, to go to the Masters.
Oh, you haven't been?
Yeah, I hadn't been.
I've been-
I had a chance this year and 2 years ago to go, but I just couldn't go.
Oh man.
It's always during spring break for us. Like it's always, working
Oh,
at
yeah.
theme parks. It's
Man,
always hard to
if
break
you
away
ever
to
get
go
a
to
chance, go. I've been 3 times. It's
Yeah.
fabulous. Just to walk that course.
That. Yeah, my coach guy's got me set up for next year. He's like, even though you're not still there, he's like, I'll get you in next year. So,
The guy company I used to work for, Scott Mora, his brother, worked for the company that set up all the tents.
okay.
And he got us
Yeah.
in. A couple years. My brother got me passes in '85, somewhere in those.
Yeah.
My brother had just played in the Pro-Am at the Atlanta Country Club with Jack Nicklaus.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Stacy's brothers-in-laws are, he is a maintenance guy that works on the food service equipment at Augusta National.
Oh wow.
So, but they live in South Carolina. I forgot what city they live in, but they live in a little small town in South Carolina. But he works at Augusta National and maintains all the food service equipment.
The guy who used to play basketball. You remember Bill Battle? Used to be coach at Tennessee, head football coach. His son Pat Battle was a good friend of mine at church. We played.
Oh, okay.
And Pat they sold their licensing business to IMG. And
Oh,
now
wow.
he's on the board at Augusta National.
Well, that's a pretty
It's
good
been
deal.
too long for me
Yeah,
to see him
yeah.
to call him and ask him for passage, but I see him every year in the second, third row with his jacket on when they make the
That's funny.
presentation of the trophy. Yeah, I'd love to take my boys one time.
Yeah.
I'll get in the raffle every year, the drawing, but I got a buddy, either him or his brother or his cousin or nephew or somebody. Each one of them has won once in the last 3
Oh,
years.
really?
He said, "I'd love to take you, but we have a deal. If we win, we take each other."
Yeah. Yeah.
But man, I'd love to go again. I'd like to go to Ryder Cup. I got a hat from the Ryder Cup.
Yeah.
My poker buddy, the guy that we do the show
That
for.
would be cool too. Yeah.
He went in Brookline, in Mass. Brought me a hat. Chip brought me a hat from the old course in St. Andrews when he was over there.
Okay.
Those are my 2 favorite hats that I don't wear.
All right. Well, I think
brother,
I'm gonna
appreciate
head out.
you coming in
Yeah,
and
man.
doing this.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Glad I could do it. Yep.
I just could too.
Make my way back to the house.
Good show.
Yeah, it was good. I'll do what I always do, which is share it. So we'll get a bunch of get on my Facebook page, take a look at it.
Our viewership's going up every week. It's good.
That's good. My dad probably watched it 10 times, so he's 10 of those views.
Oh, tell your dad thanks.
All right. See you later. Take care, man. See you next time.
We'll see you soon.
Hey, my beer.
Met my goal for today.
They probably got it set for a fuller house.
You know, you didn't have that light on during the show?
Well, I noticed it, but we were fine. It's not Robert who threw me off.
Yeah.
Oh, and the guest was so late. Between the two, because until Sean said something, I forgot to cut the audio.
Oh, yeah?
And Sean's like, "Are you going to cut the music?"
Hey, hey, hey. Don't miss a Nick.
How are you?
Yeah, no kidding.
Not much going on this week networking wise.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to Now tomorrow just because I haven't been in 3 weeks.
Yeah, I guess what I'm doing is going off the cuff. I'm going to an event in the morning. No push karaoke. We've gotten a couple people from over the years. But it's I go to the senior networking thing.
I am freezing.
It's funny, two weeks ago it was the same way.
Yeah.
And last week it was hot. Yeah, there's, I guess next week is Kennesaw. You're going to get a Kennesaw.
Yeah.
Tuesday night, right? Probably not. Are you good on flyers, postcards?
I think so. I got to wash the tablecloth. I had an accident in the back of my car. I went to a party Saturday and took chips and dip, and I didn't think anybody had opened them because they looked like they were still closed. And I set them on the back floorboard, and the salsa dumped over on the
Either
tablecloth.
way, give it to me and I'll clean it. I need the tablecloth for August 3rd
Let's go ahead and get them now before we forget.
for an event I'm doing on the other side of the tablecloth.
We're going to keep that door open.
We still need to get together and figure out pricing for new ads for this show and stuff. Yeah, things like that before it gets away from us. 'Cause we
All right.
can't-
We need to get with Susan too. Why don't you set a time with her? You know what my schedule is. The only time I can't do it is Tuesday mornings.
Okay.
And-
I'll reach out to her and see.
And next Wednesday afternoon at 1:30, I have a doctor's appointment. But other than that, I'm wide open.
You'll be finished with your doctor's appointment by 3?
Yeah.
So if I set something up at 3,
Here?
you know, here or somewhere, you know, in this type of area. I was just trying to think
say
out
it's
loud. Yeah. You know, anywhere that way, then we can come here afterwards.
Yeah.
And it just makes it easier for me since I'm already in the area. But I'll check with her. If we have to do a different day, that's fine too.
Okay.
I just trying to think about how to consolidate all this driving.
I told you, did I tell you I drove to Gainesville Tuesday? The guy I do the water route for, he had something that had to go from Kennesaw Hospital to Gainesville. So I went by Kennesaw, picked that up, drove to Douglasville, went to Norcross, took to Gainesville, dropped that off, and he came home. But I made another $75 or so.
Yeah.
Did a lot of driving Tuesday, about 4 hours worth of driving. Went and bought a new tire. the night before, Monday. We're going to ask Will if he's going to join me on the set today. Turn on the mic, too.
Once she gets out of
Boo, 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 boo.
You want me on first?
Yeah, that's fine. It's kind of cold over here. You might have to hug me, keep me warm. I'm about to freeze to death.
You're gonna freeze.
Oh, come on. That's the order you'll read them in.
Okay.
You'll read one at the first break and one at the last break.
Castrol products.
Exactly.
I don't have Castrol products.
No, that's
I
me.
got the Axe. And Joshua Smith.
Who wants to watch the NBA Summer League? I just can't. The tickets were Bronny James is playing against the draft #1 draft pick. $2,500 for seats. I said, you got to be kidding me.
Chris Youngblood, former Owl, had 17 points in a
Summer
summer
game?
league game
For
Oakland.
OKC?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, if someone like Chris was playing, you know, in Atlanta, I might go see it. But
Well, I'm not paying $2,500
I'm
bucks.
not paying those kind of dollars. I'm paying
Cooper Flag, that's who it was.
$50
Cooper Flag was
tops.
playing.
Oh, that's why they're okay. That's why they were
Yeah.
paying to see it. Okay.
Cooper Flag and Bronny James.
But even so, I'm not going to go look at these. These aren't even real games.
Yeah.
So, was your meeting at your bank?
Yeah, I was at the Smyrna office. Fortunately, I didn't have to go all the way downtown.
Greg did a good job.
Yes, he did.
He's a good dude.
You want me to sing you a song?
That'd be great.
If only I could sing.
What song would you sing to me, Will?
Oh, it would need to be short.
Short.
Sing "Happy Birthday" to you.
Too late. Charlie wrote me, told me happy birthday. I wrote Stetson, told him happy birthday.
I don't write happy birthday on Facebook because I know one day I'm going to miss somebody and then somebody's going to get upset, so I just ignore everybody.
I had almost 600 people write me and tell me happy birthday.
Wow, that's awesome.
It took me all day on the 4th to get caught up. I wrote everybody back individually. Between Facebook and texting and calls and instant messaging, I'm like, please.
That's pretty incredible, Chuck.
I don't need this many reminders. I'm blessed. That's all I know. I am blessed. And people I would never thought I would have heard from. Stetson had him a nice little one birthday.
He did.
His is when the
The 6th.
6th, yeah.
He enjoyed that cake, I could tell.
He did. For a guy who was 8 weeks early, he's caught up.
I have a friend, actually the guy we do our first show for, his 2 twins were born 5 months premature.
5 months.
Yeah, they weighed less than 2 pounds when they were
Wow.
born.
And they both survived?
Yeah.
That is
They
amazing.
lived at Choa for the first 6 months of their life.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Their birthdays, what's today, the 9th? Their birthday's Friday. They're the same age as Chip. They'll be 36 years old.
Wow.
One of them's a little slow developmentally, not retarded or anything, just a little slow. And the other one played college tennis and everything. She's
Yeah.
fabulous. Played at Harrison and then went and played at Murray State where her dad went.
Yeah.
Chris and Ashley. Must be getting ready to start. Larry's got a serious look on his face.
30 seconds.
See?
Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom.
1, 2,
Boom,
5.
boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Miller's Owl House. It's Wednesday night at 7 o'clock, and that means it's time for the Owl Show. Can I get a big hooty-hoo?
Hooty-hoo!
Go Owls. All right. My name's Chuck Burge. We're here with the Owl Show, as we are every Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. My normal co-host, Mr. Robert Kinney, is at home attending to his father, who had hip replacement surgery today. So, Robert, prayers for you and your dad and your family, what you're going through. And I want to thank my good buddy, Mr. Will Redfro, for sitting in for Robert. Will, how are you, man?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
How come Will didn't get any applause? There you go. So how was your 4th?
I worked on the 4th so I can get ready for the birthday party on the 6th.
Oh, look at you. Working on the holidays.
Yeah.
And also joining us tonight is our good friend, Mr. Carrick Martin. Carrick, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Man, if I was any better, I'd be a combination of Will and Carrick. That's called delayed applause there for Carrick.
Yeah.
So happy 4th to everybody. We're all back in step, and man, we're just 7 weeks away from football. Is that right?
That's right.
7 weeks from Friday.
66 days from our first home game.
Wow, 66 days from our first home game.
Yes.
Wow.
You know, the football coaches will have their beginning of the year outing on Friday, July 25th, and I think the
At
players
Dogwood
move
Golf
in.
Course.
Yep. And I think the players move in that weekend.
That's awesome.
Yep.
All right.
Just around, I'm very excited about football just in general, but obviously specifically about KSU football. But so what have we missed this week, Carrick? What has been going on?
It's been a quiet week at Lake Wobegon and at Kennesaw State. We had 3 female golfers on the women's team make an all honor roll. I see it up on Will's iPad there. It just flipped over, but they got academic awards, and they're all three very nice young ladies. The big news was the pictures of dump trucks in the outfield of Mickey Dunn Stadium, where they're starting on the AstroTurf. So that was very
Absolutely.
exciting.
That is really cool.
Yeah. So
How long will it take to lay that?
hopefully not too long. I don't know, maybe a week or so. But
Yeah.
they're doing the infield too. So
So, we're going to have like grass, dirt around the bases, right?
it'll be AstroTurf.
Everything will be
it'll be
done.
it'll
Yeah.
be brown carpet.
Yeah.
Wow. So it's brown. It's not even green.
No, it's green. It'll be brown.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Wow. You mean just around the bases, right?
Well, the whole field from foul area and out to the fence will be AstroTurf.
But it won't all be brown.
No,
No,
you have grass.
just
Just the
around the
bases,
bases.
yeah.
yeah.
All right. So I didn't.
We
know-
don't, we don't want it to look like we got dead AstroTurf.
I know. I didn't know that they did brown AstroTurf. I thought that was
They
usually
do-
they
they-
just
they
leave
do in
that to
college.
brown sliding area.
I don't think the pros have it, but the colleges. There's a lot of college teams that have
Yeah.
that.
Oh wow, that's interesting. We had a little guy in here at the 5 o'clock show today. Said he's up here from Jacksonville. He's interested in pitching at KSU. He won today 9 to 1 at his baseball game he pitched at. He said,
Oh, was he at one of the tournament out there in Ackworth?
actually, I'm not sure where it is.
Or
He
East
said he
Cobb?
played over in Dunwoody, East Cobb, but he played in Dunwoody today.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
East
yeah.
Cobb will play all over any high school field they can get.
Yeah.
So. But other than that, it seems to be going well. Just looking forward to, I would guess women's soccer will be the first game, which is the mid of August, and
Then volleyball.
volleyball
Schedule's
and
out.
football. So we got a lot going on, men's and women's golf, and so that's all coming up here pretty soon.
And they have, by the way, on the website now, you can buy tickets to the away football games.
Single games?
Okay.
Yeah.
Single game to the away football games, yes.
Yeah. And what does those cost at Indiana?
I think they were around 30. I think all the games were around 30 to 40.
Yeah. But we didn't
Dollar
pay
range.
that much at MTSU, did we?
No.
I thought it was like $16, $18 we played at MTSU.
It may have been, but
And that was
But that's-
overpriced for that volume, right?
Well, like I said, if
it was only 16 people there.
the KSU band had not, if the MTSU band had not shown up, KSU would have had more people there than
Absolutely.
Than MTSU.
They didn't show up for a midweek game.
No.
No, but they come here this year for a Tuesday night game, I think.
I bet they won't come much.
I bet they won't either. Are you looking that up, Will?
I was trying to find my calendar, but I don't know where it is on my iPad.
It would be up there under the Owls Athletics.
Oh, it's down here. Here we go. July, August. So
I know they're a late September game, I think.
I was just seeing.
Yeah, is that not homecoming on the 27th of September?
Oh, September? Yes.
Is that not MTSU?
Oh, I didn't put if it was homecoming or not. I just put the event
But
there.
it is
Yeah.
the 27th, right?
Yeah,
So that is homecoming.
The alumni will have a big tailgate that day that you can buy tickets to, by the way. So let me plug the Alumni Association.
Yeah. Now both of you guys are on the Alumni Association board now, right? You're the chief cook and bottle washer. As my
I
dad
am.
used to
I'm the
call it.
president's second year of my 2-year term. So
Yeah.
And I'm on the Southern Poly Alumni,
Affin-
the Affinity Group Alumni Society board,
yes.
member at large. I polish his shoes.
You're not as large as you used to be. Whether you remember it. So what does that entail?
Well, the Affinity Group is just more to engage people in specific markets. So our target is Southern Poly alumni, and also, we can't include the Southern Poly College of Engineering. That's still, we named the engineering school on the Marietta campus after the old school. So
The Southern Poly?
yeah, it's called the Southern Polytechnic College of Engineering. So
Cool.
yeah, so that's what we do is we target that group. Whereas there's like 5 affinity groups. There's the Marching Owls, there's the Black Alumni Society, the Latino, and Young Professionals.
Why isn't there a KJC affinity group?
Well, we're waiting on you to start it, Chuck.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's all I need is one other thing to do. That's awesome. I wonder how many KJ students are out there.
You know, they're more than you think. just a week or so ago, right before the 4th, I talked to another KJC alum, Frank Wigington.
I know Frank.
And
Kim, his wife.
Yep. No, it's
There's a Kim Wigington too.
Kim Wigington, but her husband is Frank's nephew.
Oh, okay.
So, but Frank.
I was just wigging out.
Yeah. But Frank's a Kennesaw Junior College alum, and there's somebody else recently I met that was new that I didn't know was a KJC alum. So
There's a bunch of us around.
There are a few of us, yeah.
My sister, I guess, is a KJC alum.
Yeah.
She's not involved.
Well, that's all right. If you started the KJC
Affinity group?
she probably would be because you would have to coerce her.
Yeah. I don't know if there's too many alive other than me and you and her, but
Well, they're more than you would think. So.
yeah, let's find out. That'd
And
be
they're the
interesting.
ones that got the money.
There you go.
Then we definitely need to find out who they are. Yeah,
Yeah.
because they're old like us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you got all the money.
He's not spending it on clothes, that's for sure. He's wearing the
He's thrifty.
the
He's
donated
thrifty.
shirt tonight.
Always wear my shirts. Yeah.
Absolutely.
My KSU shirts. All right. Anything else you want to share with us, Karen?
No, I don't. Kind of slow on news here, aren't I? So,
I think we all are.
Basketball jersey numbers are out.
I saw that.
So that I expect the women's jerseys will be out soon, and more information on men's basketball games that they're having. They're going to a tournament this year. If you remember last year, they went to a tournament. Canada, yeah, Lethbridge, Alberta, Canada, and you asked Coach Petway about it. He was very consistent in his messaging. It was
We are
cold.
not going back to Canada.
It was cold.
And didn't he say at that thing we had here yet? He said, I'm not going back to
He
Canada.
gets his Alabama kind of country accent going, it's cold.
Yeah.
It's cold.
Speaking of Canada, I got
So they're doing it in Fort Myers this year.
Oh, that
Oh,
makes a
there
lot
you
more
go.
sense. I hooked up with Erin Thorne on Facebook.
Did you?
Yeah, connected as a
Yeah.
friend. I miss her already.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have we heard anything new about the new women's golf coach
No, I've not heard anything on the coaching search for women's golf nor softball.
or softball? All right. So something's got to happen.
Sometime, yeah.
Yeah.
Either that or you're coaching softball.
I've done that before.
Successfully?
Well, it depends if you call a church league and a girls team at Georgia Southern, and we did win a few games.
Well, if
Yeah.
we can have co-ed, I've done that.
Yeah, Robert's a coach too, isn't he?
Yeah, I've done some coaching. I coached kids basketball for 17 years.
Yeah.
Put that on your resume.
Yeah.
My resume?
Let's get
Yeah.
you over there.
Yeah.
I'll be glad to turn your resume into Milton.
Oh yeah. I don't get laughed at enough on this show. All right. Well, we could sit here and gab all night, but Carrick, thanks for coming on.
Well, thank you
I
for
know,
having
Are you
me.
going to go home and go to bed?
Probably so, because I had an all-day meeting today. It wore me out.
Well, I'll tell you what, I walked outside to switch shirts, and it's 40 degrees warmer outside than it is right here.
Yes, it is.
It is
Yeah.
chilly in here. But appreciate you being on. We're going to go ahead and get a couple of commercials out of the way. Stick around. We got questions for Nick. We'll get those on as well. So let's get into our first commercials.
All right. Well, I'll start with Joshua Smith, who is a great friend of the show. Joshua Smith and his wife Tammy are both graduates of Kennesaw State College, and he's been practicing law for 24 years, specializing in sports and entertainment law while continuing in criminal defense, civil litigation, juvenile and personal injury law, and he's ready to represent you from all the way from your small town to the Supreme Court and any appellate court in between. With all the new rules regarding NIL and cash payments to athletes, they are placing a new emphasis on Kennesaw State University students and athletics to help our student athletes better navigate some of the bigger issues that have tripped up so many. Give them a call tomorrow at 706-217-2095.
What was that phone number?
706-217-2095.
There are a lot of places to get your oil changed in the Kennesaw area, but if you're looking for a personal experience, then stop in at Castrol Kennesaw Express Lube or Lost Mountain Express Lube. We'll always do our very best to get you in and out quickly, safely, and without a whole lot of fuss. We're a true owner-operated business where you'll find Brian under a car or hood at one of the shops. We offer experienced, knowledgeable technicians and the latest computer software to help you maintain your new car warranty and keep your pride and joy running for the next 100,000 miles. We proudly offer
Castrol Products.
Thank you. And we appreciate Joshua and Tammy being sponsors of the Owl Show, as well as Brian Bristow at Kennesaw Express Lube. Bringing you back now for the third or fourth time, We don't have any abuse to give to him today yet, but welcome back, Mr. Nick Massaroni.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Chuck.
Listen to that crowd, man. They're excited to see you. I'll tell you. So what's been going on in Nick's life?
Nick's life?
Other than your birthday on Saturday.
Yes, I appreciate that. Thank you. And your birthday just before that.
Yeah, great things happened the first week of July.
Certainly. No, there was a busy week, actually, a busy weekend for me, celebrating the birthday and doing a very early bachelor's trip out in Vegas this past weekend with my
Is that
brother,
where you
father,
were?
family.
Oh, wow.
Yep. Made a trip out there for the first time. I was a little surprised that it was my first time out there because I should have been out 2 different times. One was my 21st during COVID, so that obviously got canceled. And then on my dad's 55th, there was discussion of going out there, and that one also fell through. So I was finally happy that I got to visit Sin City, have a little bit of fun out there with a good group of guys.
What did you think about Sin City?
It's certainly there's a set limit of days you can go out there for, and I think I was right on the cusp at 4. I'm like, I think honestly 2 or 3 would suffice the next visit.
Did
out
you
there.
come home with more money than you left with?
I can confidently say that I did, and that felt very good. So,
Wow.
one of the only ones in that group that came home plus
What was your
money.
game of choice?
My game of choice, outside of, or sports betting aside, is blackjack.
Blackjack?
And unbelievable.
Is that where you won your money?
No, I won my money on sports betting.
What'd you bet on?
I was betting overs the whole weekend for Major League Baseball.
Major League Baseball?
And
Wow.
they delivered the 4th of July fireworks for that whole weekend. So it was certainly a good weekend to be straight betting baseball.
You're not a gambler, are you?
No.
No. I got to tell you, one time, and this is a little off topic, but it's kind of on topic because me and Steve Pearson, the guy I do my 5 o'clock show for, he's got a condo down in Orange Beach, Alabama, and we go down, used to go down every year till COVID hit, and spend a week down there at the beach, and we'd spend a day over at Beau Rivage. And first time we went down there, we all took a bath, except one guy, and I won't name him because I'm still going to shame him. But we all lost our butts except him. He won $2,500.
Good night. I didn't win that much.
He didn't win it.
No.
He won $2,500 on 2 royal flushes on video poker.
Oh my goodness.
That's no.
And he said, well, listen, I feel bad. Why don't I take you guys all out to dinner? Well, we said, that's great. There's a great steak restaurant there at the Beau Rivage. He said, no, let's go somewhere on the way back to Orange Beach. You'll never guess where this guy took us.
Chick-fil-A.
Almost as bad.
Crystal.
Denny's. And I'll never forget.
Was it at 2 a.m. at least? Like,
No, it was at night, but it wasn't late.
Oh,
that's a
one of
shame.
the guys walked in with me and says, I don't care what it is, I'm getting the most expensive thing on the menu. And it was only like $7 or $8 back then, but I'll never forget that. I want to take you guys out to dinner. I feel bad for you. Take me to Denny's. Yeah.
we did get a steak dinner in on the trip at Gallagher's, so that was a lot of fun. We stayed in the New York. So
Oh, did you?
Certainly a fun time.
Did you walk through the other hotels?
I did.
Which
By
one
far,
did you like for?
Cosmopolitan had an unbelievable sports book, but the Bellagio was just absolutely
The
gorgeous.
water thing out
yes,
front is
I made it
incredible.
a point to get out there and see that. Like, they're just absolutely beautiful, and they were. I saw about 3 or 4 of the different water shows. My favorite one, it was a show tune, but like the water was not just like shooting up and doing like like they were waving it back and forth and doing all sorts of fascinating. It was awesome. It was so much fun.
Have you been to Vegas?
I have not been to Vegas. I've been to Atlantic City
Oh, yeah.
for a conference 2 different times.
Foxwoods in Atlantic City? Is that
I
it?
don't know if
think
there's a
it's in Atlantic
Foxwoods up
City. I
there.
think it's somewhere else. Yeah.
I stayed at Caesars up there. There was a Caesars when I went to Atlantic City.
I thought Foxwood and like Mohegan Sun, those are like Connecticut.
That
right?
might be, yeah. The only 2 places I've stayed in Vegas are Treasure Island, which I don't even think is there anymore,
I don't believe so.
and a hotel at Mandalay Bay, which
Okay.
was probably the nice hotel I ever stayed at. You could do laps in this bathtub. I mean, it was the biggest tub I've ever seen in a hotel in my life. A diving board off the faucet. I mean, it was a pretty incredible place. But I never came back with more money than I lost. Best place I ate was Delmonico's, which was Emerald Lagasse's place, and it
beautiful.
was at the Venetian.
Yep.
But man, it was all Venetian's a pretty cool hotel.
Venetian is beautiful. So is Caesars.
Now,
Yeah.
now, you say the Cosmopolitan, that must be pretty new.
Yeah, the Cosmopolitan had an unreal sports book. It was absolutely gorgeous. It was near the Aria in that kind of general part of the left side of the strip, and we walked through there just for a second, but I looked over and it was just a jumbotron curved on the wall, broken up in all the different TVs. It was really cool.
The Mirage had a really cool sports book last time I was out there.
And the Mirage doesn't exist anymore either.
Well, that's probably why Cosmopolitan. Well, that's
No,
another
that's,
one. Yeah.
they're putting up the Hard Rock. They're building the Hard Rock out
Oh, are
there.
they?
Yeah.
That's cool. Do you see yourself going back?
Eventually, but
It
knowing
wears
what,
on you pretty quick.
knowing what I went through on Monday after the red eye home, and then early yesterday, I can confidently say it'll be at least a year or two, if not longer.
Yeah. Now you do something every month on the 12th
I do.
because your wedding is December 12th. Is that right?
That is
do I have a
correct.
memory or what?
That was perfect.
Oh boy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because I met him and Abby,
Heather.
Heather. So
That's the other fiance.
the numbers
do
I
not get him
remember.
in
Numbers
trouble
I
on the
remember
show.
well. Names
Brought
not
up the
so
wrong
much.
name. Come on,
so,
Chuck.
Yeah. So sorry, Heather. Good to see you too. So they do something every month on the 12th in preparation for their wedding on December 12th.
Okay, what is this?
I don't know.
Well, this past one, we actually went. The last two have been getting our different wedding bands. So what was that? June 12th was getting my wedding band, and then we just got hers. So we've been doing small little dates, whether it's taking a nice camping trip or actually going up to just shooting off to a nice dinner for a night, going downtown, seeing a show, whatever it is.
So it's
but-
on Saturday this month.
Yes, it is. Now, I was going to say, yeah, no. So I said July. June and May. This one we do have planned. We are going and making our own cake plates. So we're actually going to I forget what they're called, the clay
Pottery?
pottery. We're going into a pottery facility.
go.
We're learning how to make the pottery, and then we're going to paint it and everything. They're going to throw it in the kiln and whatnot. So that's going to be exciting.
Yeah, and now you
And this
told.
is the plate you're using during the wedding.
For our cake.
Awesome.
Yes.
That is neat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Charlie going to make the cake?
No, Charlie does not make cakes.
Oh, okay. Just cookies?
She could do flowers,
She can do cookies.
and she can plan weddings, but she's not going to bake the cake.
Okay, cool. So very excited for Nick. August, September, October, November, December. 5 months away.
It's coming up quick.
Yeah,
It's
it
coming
is.
up quick, but it's all planned, and family's starting to get all the invites now and taking care of that.
So,
end,
how many people have warned you about having a wedding or an anniversary that close to Christmas?
Multiple.
Okay.
But at the same time, her parents also have their anniversary on December 28th.
Okay.
So
Ooh, bad day for me.
it's closer to Christmas than ours. So that's I'm like, yeah.
December 12th, I think this year is the Army-Navy game, so that's probably the only college football game.
My
you're up
anniversary is the
against.
same month as my wife's birthday, so it is twice.
Two birds, one stone.
Yes.
Yeah. So those of you that don't know, Nick is the on-court voice of the Owls. He'll always be the voice of the Owls as far as I'm concerned for men's and women's basketball. And you do some announcing at football too, don't you?
I announce for the band at the football games.
For the band,
I
that's right,
announce
yeah.
for softball at Bailey Park, and I do soccer at Fifth Third as well. So
How cool is that? So what's your favorite sport that you do the
no,
voice at?
don't make me do that. Men's basketball.
Men's basketball?
100%. I mean,
Yeah.
especially with the recent success we've had, because ever since I started doing it, was that first year was the tournament team. So everything since
Oh,
then.
that was your first year?
That was my first year
Wow.
on court with the team, because I was in the basketball band for 5 years. Never really saw that success, but we saw the gradual progression with Amir's teams, and then that first year graduation. Oh my gosh, that was just unbelievably electric.
So
Yeah.
how much have things changed since the first year you got involved?
Vastly. Now I can show up, if worst case scenario, 30 minutes before and not be sweating about the script. I remember the first time I was like making sure I memorized the sponsor names. I was like, I can't forget that. I'm like, don't screw this up. You're gonna be on camera. Make sure you smile until the cameraman walks away. Like all the do's and don'ts and whatnot. But now it's like second nature. So
Yeah.
it's a lot of fun. But
Now, is the band traveling to any of the away games this year?
to my knowledge, they are. I know we are bringing the full band to Jacksonville State.
Oh, okay.
And I believe we are bringing a partial band to the Wake Forest opener.
Okay.
Oh, you talking about football or basketball?
That's football.
Football. Yeah, I'm talking about the road
you're talking about football or
road football
football?
games.
Okay.
Yes.
So a partial to Wake Forest.
Yeah, they'll have a pet band, I believe, for the Wake Forest.
That'd be
game.
pretty cool.
That's to my knowledge. They could have changed since then. It could be more, it could be less, who knows. But I knew those 2 games were the ones that they had circled on the calendar. So it's exciting. And then they got a bunch of different exhibitions this year, too. We're actually marching the biggest band in KSU history, and it has the chance to be the biggest band marching in the state this year,
Oh, wow.
depending on where UGA's numbers shake out. But I think we're up north of 350, almost at 375.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah. And when I was in the band, the most we ever had was just shy of 300.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a very different experience this year.
Now, who's the I don't want to use the wrong term, the band director?
Director. Yep. Director of Athletic Bands, Dr. Brandon Meeks.
Okay.
This
Because
will-
that changed a couple years ago, right?
It did. It was Dr. Deborah Traficante.
Yeah.
And then she moved back into early education, and Dr. Meeks came in, and now he's been here for the past 3 years. I believe this is going to be his 3rd year as the director, and the band has grown since he's come on, and he's done a great job building it up. But obviously, without both of the directors setting the foundation, now building the program into what it is now, which is either the 2nd or largest band in the state, and receiving the recognition that we are, and starting to apply for national parades and whatnot. So
Okay.
just keep your eyes out for the Marching Owls.
Yeah, it's funny. I was at the Marietta parade and I saw somebody from like Baltimore, Maryland. I said, I didn't know we were bringing in bands from other cities to come to the Marietta 4th of July parade. But it would be pretty cool to see KSU marching like the Rose Bowl parade or something like that,
Yep.
especially if the Owls were playing.
Oh, that would be a lot of fun. That would be a lot of fun.
Yeah. So how far in advance do you start planning for football season? Are you already doing stuff now? Or?
So me personally, no. I will wait until the band kind of starts getting their stuff going, which is, I believe, a week before college classes start, and they'll start and do their whole camp. They'll move in a week early and go through that process, and then I'll show up on the tail end of the week, and we'll do the first ever full band's pregame performance of the year. That doesn't really change on a year-to-year basis. My script stays the same for that. And then this year, the show theme, I believe, is $1 million songs. So it's all based on how many plays, the amount of money that those albums,
Like,
songs,
are they platinum
gross.
songs and
Yes,
stuff like that? Yeah.
very recognizable songs. I believe that's the theme. So those songs will be rotating throughout the year. So I'm not sure what the first show is yet, but I'm very excited to get into camp and figure that out.
Do you have any input into that?
Into the shows, no, but I write my own scripts. I
you?
write everything from
For
the first
all
order-
sports?
No,
Just
just
for
for
the
the
band?
band. For the band, yep. No, Jacob and his team in marketing does a great job putting together all my other scripts. So I go completely off cuff when I'm on the basketball court, though.
Yeah.
I follow a guideline, and that's kind of just.
But you get to improvise.
Oh,
What
yes,
do you do?
that's definitely all improvisation.
But does what you say, or the sponsors don't change from game to game?
For the most part, they
They don't,
shouldn't.
yeah,
like the
for basketball.
individual game sponsor does, but usually I don't have to do much.
Yeah,
with
where
that.
they walk out. And,
Exactly.
Yeah, usually you don't do that. Somebody else
Nope,
announces
Wayne
that,
will take care of that for me.
Yeah,
So
Yeah, walk them out there, parade them out there, and give them a signed basketball or whatever
Yeah,
it is they
whatever
do.
it
And-
is, yeah.
yeah,
that's
yeah.
cool. Yeah, I always am impressed. The one thing I want to know is when am I going to get selected out of the stands to shoot free throws? Because that's what I want.
You want to shoot free throws this year?
Yeah, put me up against somebody else my age and I'll whip them bad. I made 42 in a row one time.
You bring Robert to a game, and you guys sit courtside. I will make that happen very quickly.
I will kick
All right,
Robert's
you
rock.
come sit down on the floor with us at one of the women's games, and we'll get you out there.
Maybe I can bully Garrett into going back out on the court, but I don't think he's going to be up for that.
Hey, Garrett, would you do that with me? Free throw shooting contest at a ball game.
At the halftime.
All right.
Oh, all right.
The gauntlet has been tossed, my friend.
Well, that'll be an exciting one.
Yeah. Welcome to our stage, Sneezy. I don't know if you have we have a new engineer at the show today, Sneezy.
Oh, my goodness.
I don't know what it is. Every now and then, Larry gets on these sneezing fits. Do you know much about the basketball season yet?
Not that much. We know kind of the general opponents for the year and whatnot, and they've announced some of that stuff.
I know we're going to North Alabama, but you don't do anything on the road. But you travel with the team on the road?
No, I do not travel with the basketball team. I do.
Okay.
Basketball is purely all the home stuff, just on court with KSU marketing.
And if the band is traveling to a football game, you travel with them?
If the full band is traveling to a football game, a competition, I'm not sure on parades yet because I'm not sure what that role would look like.
Yeah.
But somewhere we'd figure that out. But,
Yeah, most parades have their own people that are making announcements.
Very
So,
true.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep. So.
Neat. Soccer, what do you do? You said you do soccer, you do softball too?
Yes, that's just PA announcing.
Yeah.
So
Just calling the game.
calling the game, calling the goals, doing the advertisements, all the fun stuff in stadium.
Do you have a spotter when you're doing that? Do you have to figure out what the player's name was? Because soccer is a little bit harder than, with softball, you got an order that they're coming up.
Mm-hmm.
But
Soccer, I track. I have my own binoculars and I do it myself. Like with football and everything, they have spotters.
Right.
But when there's only so many players out on the field, I try to keep track of it. And you can naturally delay the announcement with soccer anyways. It's supposed to be a little bit further behind when the actual goal happens because they play the song and do all that. And then I try to announce who it is. So
Okay.
I have a second to figure it out. And if I don't see it for whatever reason, I'm waiting for Jordan Griffith to put it in the system, and then I'm like, oh, okay, that's who it was. Perfect. Thank you for that.
So is one of the sports easier than the others?
They all have their own challenges, but I've gotten the most accustomed to doing softball. I grew up around baseball, so it's second nature to me. The only thing that took a while to figure out was how they can do the substitutions and the re-entering, which does not exist in baseball.
Right.
So that was fun to get the hang of and tracking that at first. But soccer was a challenge to figure out because I'd never called soccer before KSU asked me to do it. And I spent a few days trying to figure that out, researching stuff on YouTube, Chat GPT, all that stuff, and
figuring out what the fouls were.
exactly, know what to call, when to call it, all
Yellow
that
flag,
stuff.
red flag, black flag.
I'm like, at this point, I need to start practicing for hockey and get a hold of make a contact with Robert Kraus once the new Thrashers come to town. Hopefully,
Hey, we're building a stadium for
I
them.
know it. I know
Up
it.
in, is it coming?
It's in Cumming.
Coming.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's coming to coming?
It's coming to Cumming.
Right between Cumming and Alpharetta.
If it's coming to coming, I'll be going to coming.
That place has a name, but we won't talk about it on this show.
Yeah, I'm excited. I loved going to the Thrashers games and did a lot of promotions for General Motors at the Thrashers games. They were a lot of fun to go
I
to.
went down to a minor league game last year down in Pensacola.
Pensacola, I remember
the
you were
Ice
down there.
Flyers. That was
Yeah.
that was a lot of fun.
Hockey's so much fun. It's so much more fun live than it is watching on TV.
That's exactly
Oh,
what I was going to
absolutely.
say. You feel the energy, and you're all cold, so you naturally are not falling asleep in your seat. Like oh gosh,
All
I
right.
love it.
I've had enough of this hockey. Let's do a Brain Train commercial, and we'll continue our talks with Nick and Will.
Hey, it's Melissa at Brain Train Centers, the fastest growing neurofeedback provider in the world, and I have some pretty important questions for you. Do you or someone you know struggle with focus and attention, sleep, memory, or other mood issues? Or maybe you just want to achieve more in high-pressure situations. Well, what if I told you you can unlock your brain's full potential and change your life entirely through neurofeedback, a drug-free and natural approach to negative moods, and it's backed by more than 50 years of research, so it's not new. It is safe for both children and adults as you retrain the brain to create new pathways. Medication may help short-term, but they don't address the underlying issues. Just as push-ups help your physical strength, neurofeedback is personal training for your brain. With over 20 offices nationwide, don't hesitate to reach out to Brain Train Centers, as we will provide you with the highest level of compassionate care and help you achieve the mental clarity, performance, and calm you deserve. Your journey to a better quality of life starts with a brain map. Now you can retrain your brain and reset your life. So just call or text 470-291-2778 or visit braintraincentersinc.com.
From Brain Train for sponsoring the Owl Show. We're here with my friends, Mr. Will Renfro and Nick Massaroni, the voice of the Owls as far as I'm concerned. Nick, you and I talked a couple of weeks ago. Actually, you texted me and said, hey, you want me and Robert to serve on something. Tell us more about that.
Absolutely. So I actually am the producer for another KSU podcast that covers sports called the Owl Chat Podcast. I produce for the two hosts of the show, John Feiner, who's an alumni, also known as KSU Owl Howl for the Twitter people out there. You definitely know who John is. Like him or hate him, he definitely puts his information out there.
If you know him, you have an opinion.
Yes, you certainly do. And Kai Millette, who is a student at KSU. He's currently, I believe, the sports editor-in-chief for the Sentinel and has been doing the Owl Chat podcast for the last few years with John. And then they brought me on, and we've been doing
So
that.
they didn't start because of us.
No.
They were already doing it.
Well, when did you guys start?
A couple years ago.
August 17th will be our third year.
Yeah.
The end of our
You
third
guys
year.
are ahead, because I think we're entering... Maybe it was around the same time then.
It was about the same time.
Yeah.
Was it?
But theirs is a different focus than ours.
Yeah.
Ours is more, how do I say it? They focus more on the actual details of games and things and like how the game went, the substitutions, who's injured, who's not. We talk more about social aspect around the sports.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but we
We all have our places.
absolutely. And you guys got Coach Mack this year, which is going to be awesome. Coming
Oh,
to see
yeah.
that show. Oh my gosh.
The Coach Mack Show coming to Miller's near you.
We hope August 20th. That's our plan. Will be in the first show.
Oh, before the first home game.
That's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first home games,
Well,
or not? I mean, the
it's
first
supposed to be
first
on-
game because
Yeah.
the game's not till the 29th.
Yeah. We didn't know what it was going to be, so we thought we'd bring the coaches on early if we can.
Yeah.
And talk to them, but we'll see.
That'll be
We'll
awesome.
see. Yeah.
But yeah, no, those guys, we kind of sit down for the summer and we craft out a plan because there's not as much detailed stuff to really dive into outside of general recruitment, transfers, and progression stuff in the offseason. So we set up a list of people that we try to get interviews with through the summer, whether it's former players, former coaches, KSU alumni, donors, whoever it be. But this year we had the idea to create the OCP Awards Show, which we have about 14 different categories that cover all sorts of different spans, whether it's an athlete of the year for men's or women's, single game performances, freshman of the year, coaches of the year, comeback players, feel good moments. I mean, we're trying to cover
KSU
the
version
gamut.
of the ESPYs.
Exactly.
There you go.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
So we reached out to about 25, 30 different highly invested and involved alumni, fans, current students even, and also started reaching out to some of the media personnel who follow KSU on a more detailed basis to kind of help put this together with us and vote this year. And you are going to be one of those people, and that's going to be exciting. And
Very happy. Now, speaking of that, do you have any access to making us press and get press passes to all the games?
I wish I could do that because
I
we
wish you
can't even
could,
do
too.
that.
Yeah.
We don't have press passes either.
Yeah.
It's
We're working on
Did
it.
they reject them, or did you just not apply for them?
no comment.
Okay, well, that means they were rejected. I'll say it.
So
So I just got rejected, so that's
There you
okay.
go.
It happens. It happens to the best of us. So give us a little bit more detail. So when will Robert and I's involvement start?
absolutely. So we just finalized the 14 different categories and the people that we thought were most deserving. We finalized the ballot, and we were going to be sending that out to all of the voters starting tomorrow. We're going to try to collect those votes within a week, and we will also be having a public fan vote that will count alongside the other voters as a single vote of the conglomerate KSU fans.
Oh, so I get to cast a fan vote.
Well, I was going to say, Mr. Renfro, we actually reached out to you, and we hadn't heard back yet, so you are on the list of 25.
How did you reach out?
I believe Mr. Owl Howl took care of that one and did not get in contact,
Well, it depends on how he reached out.
and he probably didn't do it the right way.
Because if it's on LinkedIn, I don't pay attention to that. And if it's on, I don't know any.
Either way, I will make sure to take care of that because that was one of my goals coming here tonight. Because I was like, I know Will's going to be at the show, so
I'm always at the show.
exactly. But yeah, we're going to be sending that out tomorrow, and
Oh,
then collecting.
here's
those
a fun
votes
nugget that I learned this week.
You have a nugget?
Yes. So I have this year, this football season, I will be surpass everybody as having attended the most Kennesaw State football games ever.
Wow.
Who will you be surpassing? Coach
beating
Bohannon?
Brian Bohannon.
I'm third.
You
Brian
passing
Bohannon
Bohannon?
and Stuart, one of the assistant coaches that was there all year.
Yep.
Because I've surpassed the president and the athletic director, and nobody else has been to all the away games. So
Category 15.
there you go.
Bingo.
The biggest KSU football fan. There you go.
I believe we're actually naming the Coach of the Year award after Coach Bohannon this
Oh,
year.
yeah?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Oh well,
Yep,
that's so deserving because Bo, even though Bo is not here anymore, he did a fantastic job starting the program and getting us off the ground.
Absolutely.
So when you send out these votes, is any of them like play of the game or play of the year? Do we get video clips of those to look at, or?
No, we tried to go. A lot of this, the input is going to be objective. So
it'd
there is
be
an
more-
option for you to even write in someone who's not included. But like, for example, we have some of the performances of the year, and we list out some of the best performances across all of the KSU athletics, give the stat details, and then if you want to go and do additional research on that, and we highly encourage you to do that.
So it's more descriptive than
Exactly.
video.
Exactly. Yes, but we have a lot of fun stuff picked out. We did our research and tried to make sure that we got all the most deserving people on the list, and then knowing that we were probably going to miss a few folks along the way, wanted to also provide an option for people to write in their answers, because you know what? Just because that's what we think is the most deserving in a category doesn't mean that's what other people do. So we want to make this as inclusive to the KSU community as possible.
I like that. So, does it touch every sport or?
Everything.
Okay.
Everything. So, like, for example, I can just name off the top of my head when we were putting together the Women's Athlete of the Year, we had Princess Harden was on the list, Kelly Terza was on the list, or multiple other people that are.
You mean Callie Terza?
Terza? Thank you.
Yeah,
The Terminator.
I can tell you, get my vote on that one.
Getting my vote as well, for sure. But I mean, we really tried to go across the board. We didn't limit it to just the sports that people see on TV or attend in person, because that does not cover all of KSU athletics. This should cover everyone who competes and wears that KS logo, wherever it be, on their uniform.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm excited about this. I feel like I'm a member of ESPN. Or
So who would you cast your vote? We'll just ask without knowing what the list is for the overall athlete of the year. And what would you use to categorize that? How would you escalate somebody to athlete of the year?
That's a good question. I mean, what Callie does is amazing. I don't have as much an appreciation for that sport because I never played it. It's very hard to do that. I would say without leaning, I'd have to lean towards something basketball because I know what it takes to play basketball.
Yeah.
I know it's not a game where you can just stand around and hit a golf ball every 5 minutes and then wait for your next shot. That it's all in. It gets back to a great conversation I love to have with everybody. What sport does it take to be the best athlete? Soccer's in there because you never stop. Ice hockey's in there. Basketball's in there.
Golf. Golf is in there. Klaus Beauregard.
I believe it's in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, for me, and I've played golf, and it's a lot more strenuous to play basketball than it is to play golf.
Yep.
Golf is a lot more mental for me, more strenuous golf. But playing basketball is, I mean, you got to be on all the time, whether you're on the ball, don't have the ball. Whether your man has the ball or not, you always got to step back and see what's going on. I don't know, Will. I would have to. Of course, I love Callie, and but there's some great athletes, not only on the track team. You said Princess Harden was great.
What Worley did this year in basketball was pretty impressive.
Yep.
Adrian Worley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even though we did lose him to the portal, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he was
So
he was one of
doesn't
the
get
few.
he doesn't get my vote.
He was one of the few freshmen that led their team in scoring. The other one just made millions of dollars going to the NBA.
Yeah.
He just made $1 million going to Louisville.
Yeah.
I mean, AD did. Yeah.
he did do that, but
Yeah.
So, I mean,
but
yeah.
Cooper Flagg, I don't know what he
No.
made.
Not as much as he made probably his last year in college.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never know.
And that worries me about college sports. And we talked a little bit about this on the first show. Now it's to the point where you're paying $5 million for a high school kid to come to your college.
Yeah.
And they're making
What's-
more money in college than they do that
Exactly.
first few years in
Yeah.
their professional sport.
And what's going to happen when the first high school guy they pay $5 million to flops in college? Because it happens in the pros all the time.
All the time.
Ryan Leaf, all these great guys that are picked number one, DeMarcus Russell, was that the guy from LSU that got taken? Oh, can't hear you, Larry.
I think you're already seeing some of that.
Well,
you're
yeah,
seeing some
the
high
transfer
NIL
portal-
people that have done nothing so far,
Yeah.
and they end up leaving and going to another school. But you're seeing the start of that already.
Yeah, you're seeing people drop down conferences and to get positions, to get playing positions that they didn't get when they were in our higher conference.
Yeah, I think we've got some of that. Some of our football team has come from
Various larger programs.
Rice,
and have
from
taken a step.
Howard,
Yes.
from all these other places. Yeah.
Right.
'Cause
I
they want a
think
chance to prove themselves.
Yes.
I think before you see what you're looking for, what you're talking about,
Yeah.
they're going to have NIL contracts where kids are going to have to stay. Right now, they can, if they don't do well, they can go somewhere else and the schools can drop them.
Yeah, they're generally 1-year contracts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's
horrible.
it's your 1-year shot, and
It's free
you
agency,
make it or you
college free
Oh, it is
agency.
free
They're
That's
going to
all it
have to be longer contracts before you see.
Well, I'm going to throw this out there that one of the things that has impressed me this year is Petway has kept. We have more starters than anybody in the conference returning,
Yes, we do.
and we've had people that had offers. I mean, I hate to say names. I mean, Petway actually named names in his the
speech.
the speech we had, but we had players get larger NIL deals than we were offering, and they decided to stay, which tells me that Petway is really making headway into relationships with these kids, and so I think that's great for the future, for our future.
100%. It all goes back to, at this point in college, you're trying to bring in people that are going to help develop your students more and student athletes more than anything, but you need people that are also going to be there to help their development off the field, because that's what some of these guys are looking for. Like, it's not just about money to everyone. They want to be taught to do things the right way. They want to go out and make sure they're getting their education along the right way and being a part of something bigger than just being on the court. I mean, I'm pretty sure, and I could be misquoting on this, I thought I had heard something along the lines of the basketball team started participating in a group Bible study that was starting to bring them all together as
Yes.
a team. And, like, those are just the things that go unnoticed. But when you're looking about it, it's like if transferring, it's like, are you going to walk into an environment that breeds a culture like that? Like, that comes from the top down. And if you're not bringing in the right person to head that organization, you're not going to get that kind of culture.
Yes. Yeah. He mentioned that same thing at the. What was the event called that we had over there at the?
KSU
night.
alumni.
The alumni nights in,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
in Ackworth and in Marietta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he had talked about that and brought that up, that they were doing the Bible study and doing things to grow closer as teammates, not just on the court but off the court as well.
Well, I'll tell you who does a great job of that is Keith Schunsel with
Oh,
the
Keith
volleyball
Schunzel's
team.
phenomenal.
Just took the kids to Europe,
He's only lost one player to the transfer portal ever. And
and they have this thing where they go to the lake or go camping every year before the season to just meld like that and become part of each other.
I love watching Schunzel as a coach. You ever
He's
seen him get
awesome.
in a tense situation?
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't get tense.
Yeah.
He is not a screamer.
He's a cucumber.
He's
He's a
learned
cucumber.
how the kids respond, and he does it so well.
Yeah, he's not the one to get excited and throw an axe. Hey, speaking of axes,
Hey, axes.
why don't we do the American Axes commercial?
There we go. Are you tired of going to the same old places for the same old thing? American Axis has your solution. Whether you're looking for something new to do before or after the game, the most memorable work outing ever, or just wanting to make something else off your bucket list, American Axis has their 3.5 Atlanta locations waiting for you in Marietta, Tucker, downtown, and the works. And the uber cool new mobile axe experience that can come set up wherever you need. Keep an eye out for us at upcoming events and festivals, and look us up at American Axis or give us a call, 678-763-3635, to schedule your next adventure.
I missed that number. What was it?
That was 678-763-3635.
And we thank you, Dan Fisher, for being a sponsor of the Owls Who Live Sports. We're again here with Nick Massaroni and my good friend Will Winfro. We talk about the players portal. We suffered a little bit from the success of KSU when Coach Amir left to go to the University of South Florida.
Absolutely.
There are coaches that have finally just said, I've had enough, like Coach Saban and Coach K from Duke. I mean, there are a lot of coaches that are leaving just because they don't want to deal with the portal and the NIL. Of course, our football program now has a general manager, which we never had, Mike Kershaw.
Yeah.
And that's his whole job is portal and NIL. So I think it takes a lot to get people to stay, especially like when Coach Amir left. He took Youngblood and somebody else with him.
Yes, he did.
Took
you-
Youngblood, Brandon Stroud,
Brandon
and then he
Stroud.
also brought Kaysen Jennings down there with him as well.
Yeah, yeah. So, and then Chris left there and went to Alabama.
And is now playing with
OKC.
the Oklahoma City
Scored
Thunder.
17 points last night in the game or something like that.
He did
So-
in the developmental league, yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'd love to see him play. I hope he gets a G League contract or gets his opportunity in the NBA because
Well, I guess we can now officially say that we've interviewed an NBA player on our show because we've had Chris Youngblood on the show a couple of times, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah. And then Travis Bell. We had Travis on the show, so we've got
an NFL player.
one
NFL.
NBA and one NFL guy from KSU, and I only see more and more and more coming. So that's the growth of the school. I think Carrick told me there are going to be 50,000 students here this fall.
I believe it.
That's a lot of people.
50,000?
50,000.
That's an incredible growth in the last 10 years.
It's amazing. Yeah. Hey, think about it in the last.
Well, you know that growth
50
didn't
years.
that
When
growth
they
didn't
had
happen
1,700.
until they added Southern Poly to the
Yeah,
fold. You
that
know,
was a lot of
that
it,
was
yeah.
the kicker.
Yeah.
And I say that in jest, but because Southern Poly was very small, and that's where I went to school.
Yeah.
But the adding of the engineering program to Kennesaw was critical to their growing. You don't have a big university without having an engineering program, and they didn't have that before, and so
Especially one that can easily feed into the largest engineering school in the Southeast with Georgia Tech.
Yes.
So it was probably one of the best decisions that KSU could have made at the time for their development.
Yeah, and I don't know if you know this. I was in school as an old man, so I graduated in 2013 at the ripe old age of 45. But and there were a lot of students, a lot of the young kids that were very upset about that, the announcing of the merger. But I don't think. And I understand why, because they made a choice. Do you want to go to an engineering school? Or do you want to go to liberal arts school? And they're right down the road from each other. It wasn't a geographical thing. And they were kind of upset, but I think what they didn't understand was it's going to be better for both institutions. Southern Poly needed an influence of money and resources, and Kennesaw needed the engineering program as part of it, and it's helped both of them tremendously.
Absolutely has. So from a sports perspective, what do we have to do at KSU to become a school that people want to come to? And I know a lot of it's money. I mean, we don't have the $33 million or whatever it is Texas A&M and Texas Tech have to put there, but it's going to take coaches like that. But we thought the same thing about Coach Amir. I didn't think Coach Amir would ever leave, and the next thing you know, he gets his salary tripled and he's gone to South Florida. How could he? Probably more than triple. So how can you turn that down? Are we stuck in that rut? And
Well,
what do we have to do to not be in that middle conversation where the coaches keep moving up to go to a Pac-4 school or a what do you call them?
Power Four.
Power 4.
Power
That's the
Four.
word I was looking for, yeah.
Well, even in the Power Four, they lose to each other. I mean, there have been coaches move from SEC school to SEC school for more
but-
money.
Yeah, like Kellen DeBoer came from Washington to Alabama.
Yeah.
But man, it's,
We're always going to be battling from the money perspective. I think the one thing that KSU now has going for them more than anything that they had in the past was that we actually do have brand recognition, and now we're starting to prove that some of these athletic teams can play up there with the big guys, and now that we're competing at a higher level of Division I sports in just about every sport across the board, that's only going to bring more notoriety, and then you're getting in more quality coaches. But as those coaches move up, then they are going to have that experience trickle down, because it's like, oh, so-and-so was at Kennesaw State. It's like, oh, I've heard of them before. And then once that recognition starts getting built up, you start adding more students, the alumni base grows, then you start driving in more money. We're never going to catch up to the real, the pre-existing power.
we don't have to worry about the $20.7
No.
million cap.
No.
Well, there's a lot of
Unless Will donates. some
well,
money.
I'm not giving up half my money. but there's a lot that goes on in executive offices where people have their college logo on the wall, and there's a lot of pride that goes with that. Well, 15 years ago, nobody had Kennesaw hanging on the wall because they didn't have a football team or a basketball team that anybody knew who they were.
Yep.
And now we're going to play Wake Forest and we're playing Indiana the first 2 weeks. So there's going to be bets going on in corporate offices, and we want those guys that have those resources to start giving them to the school and becoming more involved, and doing things like what Mickey Dunn did with sponsoring the stadium, or Chris Pike, where he put his name on the I think the concession stand he paid for.
The
And the-
concourse, yeah.
Yeah. And so we need guys like that. We need more guys like that because we have them in our alumni base. We just need to get them more engaged.
The Wallens family now have their naming rights to Fifth Third's
That's
field.
the field. Yeah, the Wallens who's
Dave
done a
Wallens.
phenomenal job in
Exploring
his
company,
career.
Yep.
Well, you
Yeah.
know, we talked about this last year before we joined Conference USA. It's the Tuesday and Wednesday night games where nobody else is on TV except Kennesaw State that people are watching because they thirst so much for college football.
Yeah,
That
you
they're
go
going to watch.
you go to an Applebee's in Des Moines, Iowa, and Kennesaw's going to be on August 29th. We're going to be on there playing Wake Forest.
6 nationally televised games
Yes.
is something to be very excited about no matter what happens because that logo is up on that screen, win or loss.
Yes.
It all started at the NCAA tournament
Yep.
that we all three were at.
Yes.
You know, the people didn't know. Will and I walking. Where's Kennesaw State? You know, everybody was asking, "Where's Kennesaw State?" And then by the end of the game, everybody except the Xavier people were singing, "You don't want to go to
They
war
were
with the
singing that
Owls."
war chant. Yeah,
it
they
was,
were.
It was
the Pitt fans were
incredible
crazy
thing.
with it.
Pitt
Oh, yeah.
fans, I was around all the Iowa State fans.
Okay, you were on the other side of
yep.
the but the band,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It was-
Those are the kind of things that help. Not only that, something as simple as like the bracket boys. The bracket boys, all they wear is KSU.
Yeah.
They don't wear Georgia Tech. They don't wear Georgia. They wear KSU stuff. And it's a generational thing. The more kids like that come to KSU and want to be a part of KSU, that's when we'll finally catch up, which will probably be way beyond my years. But I do see inroads to what we're trying to do.
Yes. We need somebody to start a shoe company, kind of like Nike did at Oregon, you know, and and just give us a unlimited check. Do what you want.
Phil Knight.
Or maybe want somebody in oil out in Texas, like they do at A&M, where they just you know.
Texas Tech.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're it's
Aerospace,
unlimited.
somebody at Delta.
Ooh.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Hey.
what.
Or Coke.
the
Delta or Coke.
The Owls can
Home Depot?
Owls can soar just like your planes. That's what I'm thinking.
I don't know. I'll have to go start asking around more at UPS about up in the executive offices who's got the Kennesaw.
Ups
Connection.
and away.
Yeah.
Ups and
UPS.
I got
ups
you.
and away.
we got to go knock on Arthur Blank's door. There's a lot of opportunity in the state. You never know.
I had coffee with his ex-wife last Tuesday.
That might not be the best way to get to Arthur Blank.
That's not the way I. That is not the way I start the
She said
conversation.
we're still very good friends. But
I'm sure.
yeah, yeah. Arthur's an interesting dude, but well, it'd be great. I didn't know that he owned PGA Superstore.
Yes.
Did you do that?
Yep.
Did you know?
I did not know that.
Yeah, yeah. So Arthur's reaching soccer. He's reaching golf. He's reaching football. Angie, if you're watching, KSU, baby. Go Owls.
Can't have a bigger impact on any other program in the state. They're all tapped out. You
Absolutely.
come to us.
Exactly. So I think there's some great things ahead for KSU in terms of baseball. So, you know, the other teams like the track team and like the volleyball teams are so far ahead of the others. Look, I mean, the track team is the only one that's got 2 Conference USA trophies, right?
Yeah.
We've had them right here on this table for our shows.
And when I asked Shunzel, he said they're going to be the first to win a third.
Track team is on the
Yeah,
ballot
he
this
did
year
say-
for best overall team too. So
Oh, absolutely.
and they should walk away with that one
Ka-ching!
easily.
Yeah. But that's really cool, you know, that people want to do that. And I hope the coaches stay around long enough. I know that the atmosphere is great. When I was at I think he even mentioned this at the alumni things that we had at what is it?
Glover Park.
Glover Park. Yeah, you know that there are people that don't want to come to the Convo Center and play us. I think the coach from Liberty said
Liberty,
if he
yeah.
had to choose
Richie
where he
McKay.
wanted to go, the last place I want to go is to the Convo Center.
He was it was so funny when we played them this year, and because that was the first time that they had beat us in the Convo in a while, and he was talking to the band in the hallway, and I was around when I heard him say it. But he's like, you hear them? They're in there singing the war chant after the win. I'm like, we are so in their heads.
Yeah.
If Liberty's saying, I'm like, that just makes me so happy.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, and then going and taking care of business in the tournament, we were right on the edge there. But I mean, keep developing the rivalries with schools that are gaining notoriety the same way that we are, and it's only going to spell more brand recognition and success for the school.
In your opinion, Nick, who is our biggest rival?
JSU.
Without a doubt.
100, in my opinion, personally. I mean, when you're considering sports, when you're considering proximity, and something that is very underrated as far as general fan knowledge, but our bands do not like one another. JSU is known for being a very well put together band, and almost posh in a way. Like, it's like, oh, we are the best. We've been around for so many years.
They have been around for a long
You
time.
come to our program and you know what you're doing, and you're just expected to do it, and everyone knows who we are. And when we were making more noise than they were inside of Truist Park, we let them know about it after
Yeah.
the game.
Oh, yeah.
And
Well, they're the same kind of school, too. They're a public university.
Exactly.
Whereas I think Jacksonville State and Liberty are our two biggest rivals, but Liberty is a private school with totally different financial resources.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah,
so
they have a NASCAR car.
well, yeah.
William Byron, isn't it?
William Byron, yeah. I was up there at that game when they announced that he was going up to the Cup Series, and they
really?
pushed the car right out there in the middle of the field at halftime.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no, they can stay cocky over in Jacksonville, and I'll keep throwing it back in their face, and so will Ronji Gordon.
Well, yeah, and they're
There was something else Coach Petway, or I can't remember, it was Coach Petway or Coach Mack said something about we need to be playing the school that's 20 miles down the road. Georgia State.
Absolutely.
If that came to fruition, did that overtake Jacksonville State?
I think it could, but for different reasons. I think you're talking about the difference between an in-state rival versus a conference rival at that point. And,
Yeah.
I mean, there's also a history that's now built up between us and Jacksonville State that Georgia State can develop that, but I think from a point of when we really started digging into our athletic presence as it currently stands right now as KSU, JSU was the rival, and that's kind of what's the majority of the fan base knows right now.
I talked to a guy in the JSU athletic office at the track meet that I went up to and told him, we told you about our idea about the name of the game between Jacksonville State and us.
The Silver Comet.
No, the
Barnyard Brawl.
Oh, yes, I did hear. Yep.
And he said he would love it, and he said he's going to reach out to the athletic director, but I hadn't heard anything back from him. Joshua is the only thing I remember is his name, but I'll reach out to him again.
It's funny and this is how I know that JSU is at least in my opinion, our biggest rival, because I recognize Greg Seitz, their athletic director, whenever I see him, and I always make the same face. And it has nothing to do with the man that he is. It's just I see him and I immediately go, JSU.
All right, so we got one more question left for Nick, and then we got to wrap it up. I don't know if we've ever asked you this. Who's the most famous person in your cell phone?
You have asked me this.
Has it changed?
I'll give a different
Don't
answer.
say Heather. That doesn't count. I vote
or,
you,
or
Heather.
the other fiance that we mentioned earlier.
Anna, Abby, or whichever one it
Oh,
was.
now we've added a third.
At this point, I don't really know if it has changed. I think the answer I gave the first time is still the right answer, and it's Ian Anderson, the former Braves pitcher who was from same hometown from where my dad and mom grew up in upstate New York.
Cool.
So when he came down here to Atlanta, we tried to connect because we had connections with the school and everything and whatnot. But that was
All right. I said that was the last thing. One last thing. I want you to look in that camera right there and tell the next great athlete why they need to come to Kennesaw State.
the next great athlete needs to come to Kennesaw State because you're going to have me announcing your name more likely than not, depending on what sport it is, granted. So if you're a football player, you're still going to have a great announcer. It won't be me. If you're a basketball player, you're still going to have a great announcer. It won't be me. If you want to come make an impact on the softball team, the soccer team, you can get your name spoken this way.
Oh, boy.
How about that?
That's awesome. Well, Nick, as always, buddy, thanks for coming on, and thank you for the opportunity to serve on your panel. That's
Absolutely.
fantastic. Will the Thrill, thanks for sitting in for Robert. Robert, we're praying for you, buddy, thinking of you and your dad.
Take care of your
and
dad.
hope everything gets better, and we will see you next week. Until then, one more big hooty-hoo. Little late. That was fun.
Will let me grab your phone number right now so I can send that to you tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. 770-364-9322. Now I got a new answer to the who's the most famous in my phone.
That's funny.
Was that you that just tried to call me?
Yep, that was me. So now you
Yeah.
have my number.
Yeah, now I'll have to put it in my create new contact. All right, wait a minute. Spell your last name.
MASSARONI.
That's what I was about to spell it. Was macaroni. But that's